Okay, so starting off the NFC playoffs round one, first off we got the Los Angeles Rams heading to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, and I have the Rams taking control of this game and winning it. Good to see the Eagles make the playoffs and be host of playoff games as the NFC East representatives, but the Rams are just such a loaded roster, talent top to bottom, and the Eagles are a young team, back-to-back playoff berths, but not quite the year where I see them winning and making a deep playoff run. Next up, we got the Vikings and the Buccaneers facing off, and once again, I had the more proven roster, the Buccaneers winning this and moving on to the next round. Tom Brady in the playoffs, he's just a different animal. The Vikings know that. The Kirk Cousins, he's notoriously bad in big-time games, and once again, I just don't think that he's going to be able to step up and go toe-to-toe with Tom freaking Brady. And then with the Niners versus the Saints, once again, more experienced team, the better, even though they do have the rookie quarterback or second-year quarterback in Trey Lance. I'm just so high on the Niners right now. I think the Niners are primed for a deep playoff run as long as Trey Lance is good, and I'm putting all my eggs in the basket that Trey Lance will be good, making the Niners one of the best teams in the league, taking advantage of that and beating the Saints. So round two, we got the Rams heading to Green Bay, taking on the Packers in Lambeau, and playoff football in Lambeau, that's what it's built for. And now this team is actually built to win in January cold weather football. They are a pass-first offense, they're a run-first offense with a great defense. And I think that the Packers move on quite convincingly, running the ball. They're going to stifle this defense. Matt Stafford's going to make mistakes, and Rodgers, when he does need to pass it, he's going to be pinpoint accurate and just he's going to be the two-time reigning MVP. And then San Francisco versus Tampa Bay. I have San Francisco keep on advancing. Tom Brady's historical career is likely coming to an end after this season, and to go out versus his childhood favorite team, but sadly he can't get it done. This defense is just going to be all over him, putting up pressures, getting the interceptions, getting sacks, turning the heat all the way up to 11. Trey Lance and this offense is just going to be ballistic in this postseason. So that's going to lead to the NFC Conference Championship between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. And can the Green Bay Packers finally get multiple monkeys off their backs? Oh, they can't win in January. They beat the Rams and move on to the championship. They can't win the championships. They've been 0-4 in the last 4, and they can't beat the Niners. I think it might be the same number, 0-4 versus the Niners in the playoffs recently. But I think they finally overcome all their deficiencies. This is the year for the Packers. Yes, that might be surprising. They don't have wide receivers. They're gonna figure it out though. I'm confident in Dobbs. I'm confident in Watkins or someone stepping up enough. And then with Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Aaron Rodgers, one of the best offensive lines in the league, they're gonna get enough offense to get it done. And this defense, as I said in my talking about them during the regular season, this is one of the best defenses top to down that we have ever seen on paper. And unless the coaching sucks or injuries or something happens where they don't live up to expectations, this should be the number one defense. And if I think they will be and carry this team to the Super Bowl. Moving over to the AFC side of things, we have the Los Angeles Chargers heading over to Tennessee to take on the Titans. And this is probably one of the worst matchups for the Chargers, as they're notoriously bad at run defense, and the Titans are just notoriously freaking Derrick Henry. But I still do have the Chargers coming out on top. Just Justin Herbert's going to work some freaking magic. This is going to be a toe-to-toe game the entire time, but the passing attack just is more valuable than the rushing attack, and that's really when we're going to see this here. And then the Baltimore Ravens are going to host the Las Vegas Raiders, who I do have also moving on to the second round because this AFC West is just freaking wild, baby. I'm really buying into the Derek Carr, Davante Adams connection. This offense is going to be clicking on all cylinders, and not much is going to be able to stop it. This defense will have this woes, and this is going to be another exciting matchup, just like week 1 last year, where it went down to overtime with Zay Jones catching the touchdown. But instead of Zay Jones catching touchdowns, now you got Davante Adams. So Yeah, I have the Las Vegas Raiders moving on there. And then with the last game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals going to Buffalo, taking on the Bills, and the Super Bowl favorites move on there. The Buffalo Bills are just a super loaded roster, and we're going to see the matchup that a lot of people wanted to see last year after the exciting 13 seconds where the Bills going to hold it. People are like, oh, but if Buffalo moved on, they would have beaten the Bengals. Well, now we get to see, will they? And yeah, I think they move on. And then moving on to round 2, we have Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Las Vegas Raiders, and this is where the Raiders' magic ends once again. The Chiefs are just too much for the Raiders. They've had the Raiders number for, I don't know, almost my whole life, it feels like. And they're going to have it once again. There's only one time in Mahomes' career that he's lost to the Raiders, and maybe it happens again this season in the regular season, but come playoff time, the Chiefs are a different animal. They're a different breed. They've been there before. They know how to win in the postseason, and the Raiders still got to learn that, and I just don't think this is the year that they do it. Sadly enough, I'm a diehard Raiders fan. I don't want to be putting the Chiefs winning, but hey, like, I got to be realistic here. The Chiefs are one of the best teams in the league, and they're going to, if they don't make the conference championship, that will be extremely surprising and disappointing. And then the second game, we have the Los Angeles Chargers heading to Buffalo, taking on the Bills. And I have the Bills moving on once again. They're the more explosive offense, the better overall team, still better quarterback. They're just getting closer and closer, and I think people are going to be arguing this all throughout the season. Which athletic, strong arm, young quarterback is better between Josh Allen and Justin Herbert? I'm still leaning Josh Allen. He's just different breed, and this defense, I also trust the Buffalo defense a little bit more, especially towards the end of the season when the attrition's starting to hit in. You got players who've been there before too, like Von Miller, and the playoffs is just a different breed, and he's going to take over a game, and I feel like this is one to do it against Trey Pipkins or Storm Norton. That makes the AFC Championship game, Buffalo versus Kansas City, an exciting rematch that we all want to see. This was the game of the year last year, and it might be the game of the year this year again. And this time, though, I do have Buffalo getting that monkey off their back, overcoming the Chiefs, making it to the Super Bowl for the first time since they went 0-4 in that one stretch. Exciting times, breaking through tables. This offense, this is just going to be a crazy game that could go either way, back and forth, but the offense is clicking on each side, but Buffalo gets the last laugh this time. Moving on to face the Green Bay Packers in Phoenix for the Super Bowl. And this is going to be a super, super fun Super Bowl. This is one of my favorite matchups. I really, really want to see this to go down for personal enjoyment, and I also think it's extremely likely. You got the Packers with an all-time great defense with the back-to-back MVP quarterback. I don't think he wins it 3 times in a row. Maybe he does, but either way, he's going to be there again and be in the conversation because he's elevating this offense that has no wide receivers on paper to still be a competent passing attack, but this rushing attack is just absolutely dominant. And then you have the Buffalo Bills on the other side. Exciting young gunslinging quarterback coming to take Aaron Rodgers' throne as the most talented quarterback to ever play. He's got the arm, he's got the accuracy, he's got the mobility, he's got the receiving weapons in Diggs and Davis, but this offensive line is a little shaky. And going against this defense that has no holes, I think they're going to fall just short. It's going to be an exciting game, but the Green Bay Packers, I feel, are going to come out on top, and Rodgers finally gets that second Super Bowl ring that people have been complaining about for years now. Once again, just having a little fun with the predictions. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, a lot of people are going to disagree, and I'm excited to hear. I'm going to be wrong, probably. Like, it's a lot more likely. If I was right, I'd put freaking money on this and be rich and wouldn't just be starting off as a YouTuber. But hey, let me know what you guys think, if I made some good arguments for what I see happening or what you think actually will happen instead. And let's talk about it at the end of the season, too. Hey, what's up? What you just saw was a clip from our podcast, the Forward Progress Football Podcast. If you want to see that full episode, you can click the little icon right there, and that'll bring you to it. Also, if you want to see what I was talking about with my Who Are They series, I broke down each and every team. You can watch that right there. Find your team in the playlist and stick around for the whole NFL season. I'll be talking about each and every game, previewing, reviewing all the exciting storylines, putting out in short little clips like this or in the full episode, whichever way you prefer enjoying. Just click the subscribe button right there, and I'll see you all next time.